Hello everyone, this is Dana Telverk, and today we are looking at the 7th Toa of my Toa Mata. And I know that's confusing because Takanuva came in as a Toa Nuva. Hence his name Takanuva, it's Takua Nuva, essentially. But I I built this character before I decided on how my Nuva build was going to look. But second, I decided to make him a Toa Mata because Takanuva never goes through the same process as the other Toa in the original series to become a Toa Nuva. So I decided to make him a Toa Mata. Now, the explanation I have for why he never becomes a Toa Nuva like the others, well, there's two reasons. There is a lore reason, and then there is a real life reason. So the lore reason is that basically when the Toa Nuva do their things to become, well, when the Toa Mata do whatever in my series they end up doing to become Toa Nuva, Takanuva is doing something else. And then afterwards, he since Takanuva still has a bit of Takua in him, he's nervous that the protodermis will declare him unworthy of change, and he doesn't want to risk that being one of the last of Toa left. So that's sort of my lore reasoning. My real life reasoning is I don't really have a torso piece that would look good for a Nuva Takanuva, and I don't really have a mask that would look good for that idea. There is a mask I was thinking about getting to make a Takuta Nuva, but to make a Takanuva Nuva, one, that becomes a mouthful to say, and two, I don't really have an idea for what to do for a mask for that. So instead, he stays a Toa Mata build, but that's fine because being in Av Toa, he is essentially already as powerful as a Toa Nuva will being a Toa Mata. So for his articulation, he has a ball joint at the head, ball joints at the shoulders, ball joints at the elbows, ball joints at the thighs, hinge joint at the knees, and ball joint at the feet. He uses essentially the same torso build as Tahu and Kopaka, with the exception that his chest piece is connected. The ball joint for the chest armor is one spot lower than the other Toa, and that is purely because the Kanohi Avoki is just such a big mask that I would either have to do a custom neck, which could end up looking too slouched, or just lower the torso. So I just lowered the torso to do that. As for his weapons, he has the staves, which I'm pretty sure I built exactly the same as Star's Takanuva. I don't know for certain, as I do not own the Stars Takanuva. I actually bought the mask. I bought the mask separately. So I don't know if I built everything exactly. But that is Takanuva. So my idea is basically just the Mask of Life sort of movie happens almost the same way that it happens in the original story, just with the exception that that Takanuva already knows he's an Avmatoran, and him being the Chronicler is because the Avmatoran, being Matoran of Light, are seen as separate from the other elements. Therefore, he cannot be biased when chronicling the adventures of Toa because he's not from any of those regions. Basically, is the idea. So he's still the chronicler. It's just he's not. He knows he's an Avmatoran beforehand, and he lives in Avkoro, and his Turaga is Turaga Akimu. So that about does it for Takanuva. Tune in next week when we look at the first villain that the villain that Takanuva defeats after becoming Takanuva, shortly after. Basically, next week's video is the villain who will take the place of Makuta in the Mask of Light movie, because I like the idea that like the Takanuva sort of thing still happens, but I don't like it happening with Makuta, and you'll see why as I develop my story further. But right now, I don't have any story ideas for 2006, 2007, or 2008 yet. I mean, I basically have ideas for 2008 because 2008 is pretty simple. But I don't have any ideas for 2006 or 2007, and I don't have any mocks for 2006 or 2007. So when I do get those mocks, we will explain why it's not Makuta being the one forming Takanuva. So see you in that next video where we look at the villain. And then a week after that, I will unveil my Toa Nuva mocks.